Hello, my name is Kate Burgell, and in this video I'm going to be going over how our full-time hourly employees at LSSU can enter their timesheet in for web time entry. In this video we are starting on the main LSSU webpage, and I will walk you through start to finish how to enter in your timesheet for a general hourly week. So we're going to start with getting to our web time entry page. So we will go to our logins link from the main LSSU page, or you can type into your browser my.lssu.edu to go directly to this page. Here you will sign in your typical login information. And when you log in, you will see several cards on this page that have different links for different departments. If you don't already have a card that says payroll on it, or you can't find it, you can click this link at the top left for main menu, go to Discover, select Find Cards, and type in payroll. And you'll see the payroll card end up here. In the top right corner, you'll be able to save the card. Once you save the card, when you go to the home menu, you will then see the payroll card on your home menu. You can click and drag that card to stay wherever makes sense for you. And in order to start your timesheet, you will click on Enter Time. After clicking Enter Time, you will land on this timesheet home page. Here you will be able to see any of your active positions. So for this test environment, we have one active position, but if hypothetically we had multiple positions on campus, you'd be able to see other positions below this main position. Each position will have its own title, position number, department number, and department name, and the hourly rate for each hourly position. Underneath the position title, you will see the current pay period that we are in. This is our current pay period, and we want to start a timesheet for this pay period. So here you'll see the status for the timesheet. It is not started. In order to start it, we'll just click Start Timesheet. And as you can see, we have successfully created a timesheet, and it will automatically open the timesheet to today. Today is selected, Friday the 3rd. If you are entering into a new timesheet on the second week of a pay period, it will automatically open on the second week of the pay period. So you can scroll back and forth between different weeks in the pay period using these arrows on the edge. So as a B3 or an hourly full-time employee, we will be entering in our general schedule. So some folks as B3 positions will typically work 8 to 5 every Monday through Friday with an hour for lunch. Some folks work different schedules. So as you are working through the week, it might make sense for you to enter in each day a start time, and it might also make sense for you to batch enter in times throughout the week. So we are going to hypothetically say that I work on Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with an hour lunch, and I typically work very close to those hours. Every so often, maybe it's a little bit different, but we will show how to adjust the schedule. So we are going to start by entering an earn code for Monday the 30th, the first day of the pay period. And we will go to regular pay, and we will go to start time. And in order to enter the first time, we go to this little clock logo. And depending on the size of your screen, you may need to scroll down in order to see this entire dialog box. And we will scroll down to 8 a.m., and set. You can use a variety of different commands as you're working through these little menus. You can scroll with your wheel on your mouse. You can use the up and down keys on your keyboard. and you can tab over to different columns as well, whatever makes the most sense for you. So we clocked in at 8 a.m. and just as we would have on our Excel document timesheets, we will mark when we are leaving for lunch at 12 p.m. We're going to set that time, and as you can see, it has automatically generated that we worked 4 hours. I also want to add that I came back to work at 1 o'clock, so I'm going to select Add More Time. And then we'll just do the same process of 1 p.m. set to 5 p.m. set, and another 4 hours. And we are ready to save today. And as you can see, the timesheet was saved, and we have 8 hours entered for Monday. Let's say I come into work and leave work at exactly the same time every day. I have a very specific routine, and it does not change very much. I can actually copy and paste today's schedule for the rest of the week by clicking that little copy icon. You can copy to the end of the pay period, and it will automatically do that for you, or you can select specific days. So as you can see, it has automatically entered in the same hours for every day this week. But let's say that on Thursday, I ended up having a longer lunch. So I want to edit my hours for that day. My regular hours that I worked changed. I didn't return back to work until 2 p.m. after lunch. So I'm going to go to this little clock here for my return to work time, set, and I always want to make sure that I'm saving any changes. Now, as you can see, I have less than 8 hours of work per day today. So for whatever reason I took that lunch, I need to enter in a different earn code. So whether that was sick time or vacation time, let's say I was meeting a friend over lunch, and so it's vacation pay. So I want to enter in vacation pay. I want to enter in the time that I was gone from 1 p.m. set to 2 p.m. We want to make sure that we're not overlapping our hours at all. Save. So now we have 1 hour of vacation pay logged, and we're back up to 8 hours total worked, or total reported for Thursday. Friday, I also copied the 8 hours to Friday, but let's say that I left early on Friday, and I want to edit my time for Friday. Let's say I actually just didn't come back to work after lunch. I want to delete this entire shift. I did not work this time at all. I can click this little minus button to delete that entire clock in and clock out time. And of course, I need to save here. So now I only have 4 hours. I want to make sure I'm getting up to 8 hours every day. So let's say that I need to add more time. But I'm sorry, I need to add a different type of time, not regular pay. So we'll cancel that. We need to add a different earn code. And we can call this sick time. And for this sick time, we're going to leave at 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. for 4 hours. And there you can see 8 hours of time. So as we move through the week, we will need to enter in more time. We can enter in time in advance. I'm entering this all in on June 3rd, and I am able to enter in time on June 6th. If I want to go back to last week Monday and recopy, I absolutely can do that. And it has been successfully copied. We'll go check it out, and here they all are. So one thing that I want to note as we are entering in time, I'll just enter in some more time here, is that we have a limited number of minutes that we can select from. You'll see that it goes in intervals of 6 minutes. This is because, as you may recall, our timesheets that were on the Excel had to round to the nearest tenth of an hour. And in order to allow for our system to continue doing that as we are required to do, this is our solution of entering in time this way. So if you are showing up to work a little bit early, let's say you're showing up to work instead of at 8 a.m., you're showing up to work at 7:58 a.m. The closest time for you is actually going to be 8 a.m. So you may not wish to start working until actually 8 a.m. But if the closest time for you is actually 7:54, then it can be rounded to 7:54. You can refer to our FAQ page about rules for rounding in case you ever have any questions about what time you're supposed to enter here. So with that, we are all set. We have 80 hours logged this week. We don't have any additional time that we need to enter in. However, I do want to go over one more example with you. Let's say that on Tuesday morning I had a rough morning. I forgot to set my alarm and I arrived to work an hour late. I spoke with my boss about it. I really don't want to use my vacation time because I have a big vacation coming up, or I'm saving it for a special occasion. And we agreed that I could use dock time instead. So instead of entering in vacation or sick time, I can enter in dock time. So first, of course, we need to edit our regular pay. And we will say I came into work at 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. Save that first. And then we will add a new earn code, and that will be dock time. You can scroll down and see docked pay here. And that will be docked pay from 8 a.m. set to 9 a.m. And save that. And we're back to 8 reported hours and 80 reported hours for the entire pay period. So we don't have any more time that we need to enter. We can go ahead and hit preview at the bottom right. The preview page is where you will be able to see all of the hours that you have entered. This is date by day, and you will then be able to see the time in and time out information. And finally, we have a summary of both weeks. Here you'll be able to see how many regular hours were worked during the pay period. It's separated by week, and then we have totals for each week, and we also have totals for each type of pay for the entire pay period. So whichever number you're looking for, you can find it here. Below the summary, you can see the routing and status. So I am the employee, the test employee. It originated with me today, and once I submit this, it will head along to my test supervisor. It will be in their action queue. As you may recall, our absence forms before we moved to web time entry required for any sick time to note what the sick time was used for. So whether it was due to personal illness, due to a medical appointment, due to caring for members in the immediate household, things along those lines, we do still require that information to be reported with any sick time that has been reported in a pay. So as you recall, we do have some sick time reported this pay. If you can't quite remember, you can always scroll back up to the summary and you'll see that yes, we have sick time here. So the way that we will enter that in is in this comment box. It is required for sick time, but it is not required for vacation time, so that's why it looks like it's optional. So we will go up to our sick time and remind ourselves of the date that we said that we were sick. That's 6/3. So we will type in 6/3/2022, absent 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. due to personal illness, let's say. We also had the dock time, which we will want to report what that was about as well. And we will scroll up to remind ourselves when that dock time was taken, 6/7. Absent 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Dock time late to work due to forgotten alarm. So that's all of the comments that we are required to make. You are welcome to make any other comments about our vacation time or anything else that may seem to be important as you are sending this along to your supervisor. Your supervisor will be able to see these comments, and then payroll will be able to see these comments afterwards. So it is important that you are putting in any comments for sick time, otherwise your supervisor will have to send this back to you. Before we can submit our timesheet in the bottom right, you'll see that it is grayed out, and that is because I have not certified that my time is correct yet. It is very common to not realize that there is a box there because, as you can see, if I scroll up a little bit, I can see this whole box, it seems. And it seems like I'm at the end of the page, but there actually is a little bit more page to include the box here. We're going to check that I certify that this is correct, and then I can submit the time. And as you can see, it has been successfully submitted. And if we hit return, we will head back to the timesheet. And you can see all the hours, and let's say that we are coming back to this timesheet, we're staring at it, we're looking, it's now pending, it's no longer in progress. We can see that pending status here as well, and then we can also see where it is in the approval queue. It is now pending approval with my test supervisor. But let's say we're just staring at this page and we happen to realize, oh my goodness, I made a mistake. I left early on Friday the 10th, not Friday the 3rd, and I mixed up my days. So I need to change my timesheet even though I already sent it along. You can absolutely do that as long as your supervisor has not yet approved your timesheet. If your supervisor has approved your timesheet and the time period is still open, your supervisor is able to bounce it back to you. You just have to get a hold of them. Once they bounce it back to you, then you'll see that it's back into this pending status. But as our supervisor hasn't looked at it yet, we'll have this pending status here. Everything is in blue, and we can recall the timesheet. So it has been successfully recalled, and we are back to this familiar page where we can go back in and edit our times. So we can make any changes that we would like, and then we'll go back, hit preview, scroll down. We need to make a comment of why we made changes, forgot to add a change, whatever that may have been. And we always want to make comments about why we're making changes to our timesheet for auditing purposes, and so that our supervisors can see kind of what's going on. And then we need to recertify that everything is still correct. As you can see, our original comments are still here. And so that means that we don't have to go back over what we were doing for that sick time or that dock time. We can just leave that information here. We don't have to re-enter it. So we can certify that everything is correct, include why we made a change, and then we can submit our timesheet again. And it's been successfully submitted to our supervisor. And we can see again here that it's with our supervisor. And the last thing to note is if you're ever wondering when the deadline is to enter in this timesheet, is this little I selection will have a deadline for you outlined here if it hasn't already been submitted. You can see here we have the approved by time for our supervisors is on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. You should be getting emails through Banner directly to your LSSU email address. If you have started a timesheet and you've forgotten to submit it or anything along those lines, it will remind you a couple days before the deadline is approaching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the timekeeper in your department or to refer to our FAQ page. And of course, this video will remain here for your reference.